We're just waiting for a few minutes till I welcome Gracinha. Here you go, I can see Gracinha. Let me invite her. Gracinha, for whatever reason you're unable to join. Can you please try? Oh, here you go. We're just waiting for Gracinha to come on screen, and we'll welcome everyone. Here you go.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello.
How are
So
you?
good to see you. Good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Oh my
We had
God.
a little mix-up with the time between Singapore and Portugal.
I know. Well, you know, it's as I call it, it's a COVID brain, Gracinha, these
Yes,
days.
it's true, it's true.
It's true, right? Well, so great to see you. I wish I could hug you in person
Yeah,
and be
me
next to you,
too. I miss you. It's been so
but as
long.
you, yes, but you know, I'm giving you the hug and
Me
sending you
too.
my energy. Great to see you. And
Great
we'll
to
just
see you.
wait for a few seconds, and
Okay, okay.
I'll welcome everyone. I'll say a few words about the conversations with Olga. I will introduce you just in a few words, and then we will start.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
You're always the perfect host anyway.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Uh, well, let's start. Just a few words about conversations with Olga. I've started this series of very interesting, on my opinion, talks during the circuit breaker last year. It's an IGTV series fostering intellectual and cultural exchange between influential individuals from all around the world. And as you can see, we are having another session today. Yeah, all of these amazing people are sharing their life story in hopes to inspire and cultivate a more diverse and immersive community. Today, I'm honored to welcome my guest for today, Gracinha Viterbo. Gracinha is a renowned interior designer and head couture designer. I will say a few words, as I said, about you, Gracinha, and then you'll take over and you tell us all about yourself and your journey during our conversation. Is it okay?
Yes, yes, you're the boss.
I have met Gracinha while she was living in Singapore with Miguel, her husband, and her first four wonderful children. And we clicked energetically and we become very close friends. Am I correct to say that?
Yes, totally, totally.
Gracinha is one of Portugal's renowned interior designers. Born into the interior family, into interior design industry, I should say, she had a French education and British design training, a world citizen and global traveler. Gracinha is a style expert, and her 20 years career has led her to believe interiors are a powerful tool of emotional empowerment along with its aesthetic impact. I cannot agree more. Besides that, you, Gracinha, is also, you're wearing totally different hat. And it's actually a very literal statement, as we can see. And we talk about it a bit later, yes. Having attended the French school Lycée Charles Lepierre in Lisbon, it was in London in Central St. Martin's College of Art and Design and Chelsea College of Art and Design that Gracinha finished her degree in interior architecture. After specializing in decorative arts and the renowned Etiquette School of Design, still in London, Gracinha joined the team of a very famous South African interior designer, Kelly Hoppen, before returning to Portugal in, I believe, in 2000, right? To work side by side with her mother.
Yes, yes.
Yes, in 2008, you and your wonderful husband, Miguel, who is managing partner in your company, Miguel Vieira da Rocha, gave continuity to the Viterbo Portuguese style legacy. And today, you the Viterbo interior design.
Exactly.
Full-fledged of the word. Your portfolio includes projects for hotels and private homes all across the world. You have been creative ambassador to the brand's internalization, leading international projects that include five-star hotels, as well as boutique hotels, as well as very, very amazing homes and palaces for very, very important clients. And all of this earned you a host of lustrous distinctions and awards worldwide. As I mentioned earlier, Gracinha is very much of a multi-talented and multicultural person, and I admire you for this very, very much, my dear. So, so let's start a little bit with your vision and thinking process. How do you approach the project, and what is the process like? Can you tell us a little bit? Knowing you so well, I know that it takes that you take each client into unique, personalized, and mindful experience. Please share with us this.
Definitely. Thank you so much for the introduction, Olga. I'm very touched. And I also want to thank you for inviting me for your amazing talks. I watched all the other ones, and they're all in its way, each one its way, very special. So I'm very honored to be here. I miss Singapore, number two. I miss Singapore.
Yes.
As we can travel, I intend to go with my family. And to answer your question, you know, I think for me, the process is the most important part of being hired interior designer. Nowadays, I think a lot of people misinterpret this job. It seems like a very easy job where you just choose beautiful things. And it's really about the whole research of creating a genuine, authentic identity that builds to the person who lives there in high quality and in a professional way where everything fits as it should, arrives, you know, dealing like an orchestra with all the teams, not only my team at Viterbo, which we are now 22 people assigned, and I assigned them to different projects with Miguel because I need more arms, of course. I have, and I am very proud of my you know, multi-talented. So I think each project benefits for many minds and many talents, and I'm very proud that my team, each member has a voice and their ideas are heard, and Viterbo benefits from that, and the clients as well. So the process involves many people, not only through the creation of a project so that it is very personalized to the client, but also in technical specific areas so that the quality is there, service, extraordinary care to the client is there, and the smoothness of between presentation to delivery is there too. The client doesn't have to get worried that things are not going to be there, that it's not going to fit. You know, we deal with everyone from A to Z, and I liked, you know, the music on and the flowers in the vases the day that we deliver.
I can totally relate to that. I go through the same process, and it's extremely important, I believe, to immerse yourself into the world so you can feel the identity and express identity for each client, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. You know, as I usually say, a different story. If people go to my site, sometimes they get confused because they're such different styles. And for me, it's my passion is exactly that. It's interpreting lives through spaces and empowering moments through design. You know, and people are getting more and more sensitive to aesthetics and opening their homes because, you know, of the pandemic, and the backgrounds are important. Before they went, and now they understand that their home is part of their identity. It's an extension. So I think positively in that side, this pandemic has enhanced senses in terms of aesthetics and interior design.
Yes, and it's very interesting how you just said that it's actually empowering and emotional, gives an emotional impact on your clients, isn't it?
Exactly.
It,
does. It does.
it's very good. It's very good point. Well, I've been to your house and I know you for all these years. Your personal style is actually very unique and eclectic and very quirky, I should say.
Yeah.
But yet, you have so many projects that express either very classic feel or at some point very modern. How do you transport your own self into this world? So, it's a bit of, I know that you're a bit of a chameleon, I think. So how can you describe this point?
Definitely. I was born into this world of interiors and design, so very much sensitive to people, to energies, and to understanding space. Of course, I had to study. I had to practice a lot. I've been doing this for 20 years,
Yes,
and learned a lot through the path. But I'm very curious, and I believe that when we want to do something well, and I offer a service, I have to know a lot about it. So I'm always studying, I'm always researching, since histories of when did the dining room, when was the dining room invented. I love to know how the history of interior design has progressed through time, and that helps me a lot with references. That
yeah. Oops, we,
with knowledge.
Christina, you're frozen for a little bit.
Uh,
Oh, sorry, you were frozen just for a second. It's okay. Go ahead.
these are references. Historic references are always important. Culture,
Yes,
but also their knowledge that we acquire so that we
yes,
deliver styles. Minimalism is it's not just little things. It has a history. It has a
yes,
lot brought us to minimalism, maximalism as well. Many styles that I love have a history, and I love
yes,
to know about it, and I connect that to the identity of the client. So each project becomes a story, and I
yes,
really enjoy, like an actress that has
yes,
portrayed many, roles, many movies.
yes.
I believe I do the same in my projects.
You and me are very much aligned with in our creative vision and in terms of the storytelling, tailor-made projects and individual signatures. I can totally relate to what you're saying, but tell us how hard it is to convince the client, to convince the media and even your associates and to believe in your trust and your vision. What does
Uh,
it take?
I totally agree with you. I think we're completely aligned. And, I think that's why when we met in Singapore, it was very easy to talk to each other
Yes,
because we relate
absolutely.
in so many ways. And it was very natural. And, in terms of relationship with the clients, in one way, it feels very natural. If there's a progress in the relation, with the client, I think it's interesting how so many of my clients come back with other projects, and that's the best uh,
Yes,
sign that I did something right. The relationship, and I think that's important nowadays. For me as a designer, it always was very important to listen and to try to understand, sort of empathy of who is. It's not my way or the highway. I believe that I am there to give in knowledge and in style and in a little bit of rebellious, of a little bit taking someone a little bit further than they ever thought, but also to listen and to interpret and to understand where they're coming from, where they are, and where they want to go with that project.
yes, yes. And this is, I guess, how you develop the loyalty with your clients,
Yeah,
correct?
definitely.
Yes,
Yes, I always say I'm not an enemy. I'm not here to sell furniture. I'm here. It's almost like an artist. I'm here to curate
yes,
moods and moments that will become
yes,
part of your memories. So it's supposed to be an amazing experience.
yes, absolutely. And how do you deal with people who are trying to copy your style and to make their own original? I'm sure you are probably, well, I'm not sure, but I assume you come across this kind of unfortunate experiences.
Yes, I think, I've learned to stay in my path. I don't. I really don't want to focus in my life in negative things. So, you know, I think those people have to go to sleep at night, searching for themselves. And maybe it's part of the process to understand that they're still not there. And I will take it positively, as in they're learning something from what I do or other designers do. So before, maybe 10 years ago, my answer wouldn't be this, and I would be, you know, but you know, we evolve, and I take it as
Yeah.
a compliment if people are reproducing some of my designs.
Oh, that's a great answer, and it's definitely very, very positive. Is being firm, true to your values, while also being flexible, something that you had to learn, or is it a character that you inherited perhaps from your family?
Um,
What can you say about your personality with regards to this?
I believe in a lot of parts of my life in the freedom and firmness approach. So I believe in freedom. I was always a little bit rebel in terms of people are going right, I go left. People go left, I go right. So I like to explore the unknown.
Yeah.
Uh, but I think that, and I think I bring that into people's lives in my projects too. In my projects too, sometimes I listen to what people want, but it has happened in the past where I'm looking at the client and it doesn't. What they want is what they see. That is the trend, but it doesn't really belong to them. And I try to guide them to
Yeah.
the best version of themselves and the truest. And then if I believe that I should fight for that idea, I will. Of
Good.
course, it's then I mean, that's why the client wants me, right? Because maybe they're not.
They have to trust you, absolutely, and they have to believe exactly because they hire you as an expert and as a creator.
Yeah,
I agree.
yeah.
I agree. Absolutely. Well, it's fab. You know, I want to move a little bit and talk about your growing up and actually raising children. You have an amazing family, and your children are delightful, really. You know, all of them have incredible diversity, interests, intelligence, as well as their social skills are exceptional. And I experienced, every time I come to your home, I experience this. What is the secret in raising them this way?
Well,
Share.
first, say hello. I told them I was going to talk to you, and they said, "Oh, say hello to
Send
me."
them my love, yes.
Uh, then, you know, I think, hi Coco, there's Constance. I think, you know, the fact that we uh, always involved them and they always traveled with
Yes,
us. We made sure that because we traveled so much, and there was a time in our lives with Miguel that we were always on a plane. We had the pact that one of us would always be home, but we had to travel a lot for work, and we were okay with that. We always thought, okay, if divorced people are when week in week out with kids, we love each other. We have to travel for work, so this will work, and it did, and it was amazing because it gave them that spirit of traveling, of
yeah,
exploring, of discovery, and they came with us to Asia,
yeah,
and we for vacations, and I think giving them a sense of discovery and a dialogue at home, listening to them, not only, you know, directing them. I believe a lot in the growth mindset,
yeah,
positive education, uh, really gave them a voice. And
yes,
from there, the social skills that you're talking about, and their openness and their joie de vivre, their you know, happiness of being themselves, because they're all very different. For is something that was born from that, I think.
yes. Well, you know, and I know that you always make a point to do, as you said, so many things together, and you have family traditions. Can you share? And I know you treasure it and how important it is. Can you share at least maybe one or two traditions that you guys keep to for
Yeah,
years?
of course, of course. Well, on Sundays, that's something we like family. I always say that families are a little bit like business in a way, where there has to be a meeting where you talk about what's going well, what's going wrong, how can we better this. sometimes someone offends another person and they don't even realize. So we have on Sunday a family time where there's a family meeting. We have a family manifesto that we keep on rearranging. So we go out for family walk. We live here, you know, great nature.
Yeah.
So we go out on family walks with the dogs, and it's great to just, you know, parallel talk and use those nature walks to connect. So that's one of the traditions.
Yes.
The other tradition I love is our Christmas tree, where we don't use traditional decors. We use memories. So our Christmas tree, since our kids were born, is made of photographs.
Yes.
And
I
we
remember.
all do it together every Christmas, and they go back on the photos and the memories, and we have a very nice moment doing our Christmas tree together. So that's another one I love.
That's really, really beautiful. So, you know, that brings me to another point, and I believe you answered partially that how important are the soft skills and cultural education for children, you think?
So important. I believe that, I mean, it was something very clear for Miguel and I since we got together 20 years ago, and we were parents 16 years ago. But you know, we both of us always traveled and lived abroad when we were single, and we wanted that for our kids. And one of the most important things in our minds was the respect of other religions, of other cultures, of diversity altogether. And the fact, I mean, Singapore, there isn't any better place for that than Singapore, because it's a multicultural
Yes.
crossing,
Yes.
the celebration of different religions, of different cultures, of different foods. It was
Yes.
just the best that they could have at such a young age. They learned to talk Chinese, and
Yeah.
oh, and they kept it with them, and from that tried to continue that by traveling and keeping them, you know, their memories alive. And I think they're going to take that for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. And, you know, as you know, and we spoke about it, I'm a big advocate of learning the proper manners and at
Yes.
least basic etiquette skills. What is your take on it? And what do you think probably would be, I don't know, top one or two basic etiquette skills that we all should know and children should be taught?
Well, I'm talking with the expert because you're the best go-to person for anything etiquette. Uh, but I think that's absolutely, I think it's something for us also was very natural, that it's part of our mission as parents, is to also put them in situations where they learn how to be where they are. For example, I always tell my kids I like them to have their own identity, and I'm okay with them nowadays dressing as kids dress. But if we're going to go somewhere special, if we're going to go to have dinner or lunch somewhere specific, I've taught them, you know, I think it's important they know how to be where they are. So for
Yes.
not to just go because it's cool, you know, I think it's important to have a conscious of where you are, what you're going to do, who you're going to be with, and respect that. So
Yes.
that's definitely a part of etiquette that I believe is important, as in being at the table and conversing with different people, respecting what other people have, especially when we're talking religion and politics, things
Yes.
like that. It's not really my way or the highway. It's knowing
Yes.
how to listen, to respect, to reply. You know, these are things that by talking a lot with
Yes.
them, they learn.
Wonderful. Great. Thank you so much. Well, let's move into you and your style. You know, describe your own style. To me, it's a true, looking at you and knowing you, is a true expression of your character. What is your style?
Well, I believe my mother influenced me a lot because, you know, I was 3 years old and I was in the French school, as you were saying, and everyone in kindergarten had these blue, I don't know, vests. I don't know how you call them. It's called bibs in Portuguese.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes.
my mother sewed some, you know, details onto them so I didn't look like all these kids. And I remember having two or three others were exactly the same. as the other kids, but I'd like to wear the ones that she sewed, the frocks here. And
Yes.
he always told me, you can always add on a detail to be different. I think that's stuck, and I believe that for me, I can be very minimalist, and sometimes I feel like just wearing white and very clean, and so I'm very chameleonic, as you were
Yes.
saying. But
100%.
but also I think this brings up my energy,
Yeah.
almost like the mood board at work. So it's
Yes.
not, it's me. This is not me portraying,
Yes.
and you know me. So, I might look like when
Yes.
people, oh, who does she think she is? But that's me. I like
Yes.
to
Yes.
provoke a little
Yes.
bit and create a mood board every day.
That's one, and you are very real in doing that. And this is really shines from within. Do you work with a lot of with most of the Portuguese designers? And what are the unique quality statement elements of the actually Portuguese design? And how do you convey it through your interiors? Whether you actually do try to put a signature Portuguese style in your projects?
In terms of interior design, you mean?
Interior design, yes, interior design and in the styling of your own self. You
Okay.
can separate it.
In styling, there are two Portuguese fashion designers which I like a lot. One is called Ricardo, and Ricardo is an amazing human being. He works a lot and lives between the Philippines and Portugal. Uh,
Okay.
he's very well known in the Philippines as well. And Ricardo is very, very talented. I love his style. I just bought 2 dresses from his new collection. I can't wait to wear more spring, summer. And
Going shopping when I come, remember.
and you have to follow him, Ricardo Preto. He's amazing.
Yes.
So Ricardo is a person I follow, and I like a lot his work and his creativity. And then forever, I've been wearing and love Alves Gonçalves. They're also
Yeah.
amazing, talented, very chic kind of dresses and all kinds of clothing, and the couple is amazing as well. So I like them very much as individuals and as creative minds. I think Portuguese as a whole, in Portugal, the style is quite relaxed compared to Singapore, for example.
Yes.
But it's part of our culture. It's a very relaxed country. Very, the understatement is the statement. So we really go through, even towards interior design. We really give a lot of value to the crafts and to the
Yes.
hand. There's a lot of knowledge and a lot of expertise in handmade, all through, from
Yes.
ceramic tiles to embroideries to linen, to every kind. Nowadays, we're looked from all over the world, and people are producing here from America.
Absolutely. Yes, I am aware of it. It's incredible.
Yeah,
Yes.
we have to go around, the both of us, because you'll love
Yes.
to explore. I'm sure you'll
Can't
love,
wait.
especially because all the tablescapes, from plates to details, beautiful details of lifestyle, are also made here. So I mean, for your extraordinary events, you're going to
My
find
God.
amazing.
I'm all set.
Yes, Portugal needs you. I'm
Yeah.
going to
I'm
bring you up a little bit.
I'm coming, trust me, as soon as there is a border opening, you'll see me there for sure. Gracinha, and continuing about your style, you have this amazing place. It's called Cabinet of Curiosities. Well, first of all, I would like you to explain what does it actually mean, because maybe perhaps some of our listeners might not know this phrase or this notion of Cabinet of Curiosities. Can you
Yes,
explain a little bit, and then I want you to share what actually you have in your Cabinet of Curiosities.
of course I will. So Cabinet of Curiosities is a tradition that started in the 16th century in Germany, actually. When people started traveling uh, and collecting. So it's the art of collecting beautiful things, beautiful objects
Yeah.
from different places, from exotic
Yes.
places. So and later on, it was really empowered by the Grand Tour in the 17th and 18th century, when Europeans started, exploring different traveling. Actually, the art of travel. It's not exploring, but going to travel somewhere and appreciate that. It's where the word
Yeah.
tourism is from. It's from the
Yeah.
Grand Tour. And
Yes. Grand
when
tour.
they when they arrived back home, they have a cabinet in their living room where they would set in little compartments a little bit of stone, of marble stone from Italy, and a little bit of this and that they brought from their travels. So when I came back from Asia in 2016, I arrived to our office, which is a little townhouse in Estoril, and it has a lot of rooms. It's 10 little rooms. And I had this idea saying, oh my God, I have this warehouse full of things that I've been buying for future projects
Yes.
that are stored away. And this is my cabinet of curiosities. I'm back. I'm going to reopen to the public. And a team went to our warehouse where I created a very artistic and cool place for creativity and projects. And where our was became the cabinet of curiosities, where 10 rooms are set differently every month with different that
Well,
people shop. It's a
yes.
shop.
Well, I just for all our viewers and listeners, I had a huge privilege to work with you, Gracinha, on some of my projects in Lisbon. And I must say that the events that we staged together in Lisbon in the pre-pandemic era, and details that I was able to pick up, the elements I was able to pick up from this cabinet of curiosities are exceptional. And honestly, they just made this whole setup and event stand out. And it was just beautiful, amazing, and
I have
so
lots.
creative because it's all about details, isn't it?
It is. It is. I mean, of course, when there's talent like yours, some people can have all beautiful objects, but if they don't have the talent, they don't know how to. And it was your talent that put it all together. But and it was amazing that you
Yeah.
did the cabinets things. And I hope we have a lot in the future post pandemic to
Absolutely,
create together.
absolutely.
But it was an amazing experience. I loved it, and
Thank
I
you.
love the fact that you fell in love with Portugal too,
Oh my God, completely.
and you can share a little bit of your talent, not just in Singapore but also in Portugal.
I'm looking forward, definitely. Thank you. Well, it brings me to the point where we should talk about yet another hat that you're wearing. It's actually Gracinha head couture, and I am going to put one on
Ah,
myself right now. Here you go.
wow!
Remember that?
Yes, I love that one. It's a beautiful one.
Here you go.
Well, look, there's the two.
Well, your turbans, as you call them and as I call them, are all collectibles, and I'm very privileged to have a few of them, especially designed for me. And I remember very clearly when you looked at me, and it was like, and you announced it very simply. I know exactly what you need. And
Exactly.
that was it. I never even asked. I never asked about the style. I never asked about the color or anything. And I wore these pieces, as you remember. Or maybe I've sent you the pictures for some of my most amazing and very sort of memorable fundraising balls. It's for the Singapore Portuguese Theatre. I think one of the balls you've attended even, and you were raising funds for the
Yeah.
cultural education.
I
And
don't.
I wore the turbans.
I attended 3 or 4 amazing ones that you did, and I mean,
Yeah.
the first we saw each other was at an art fair in Singapore, and then we saw again each other at the SRT ball at the
Yes,
Full Day, and
exactly.
actually I
Yes.
think it's not here, but I have a few here, and it was a conversation starter, and
Yeah.
and at the time turbans were not in fashion, so
Yes.
people now they came back, but I think it's empowering. I always say, the motto for Gracinha Viterbo Head Couture is, every woman is a superhero, so might as well wear the cape on her
Yeah.
head.
Yeah, well, and all women are unique, and you are able to pick this uniqueness up through creating this something for them. Well, at least for me, for sure, that's how I feel. That gives me strength and power. And I usually was,
It's how
before you, I never wore a hat, especially for the event, especially the event that I man, that I create and have to manage. So that was really something extraordinary, and I believe that. Can you tell us where it come from? I believe that your grandmother owned like 400
400.
collections,
So
and
my great great grandmother, my father's
okay,
grandmother.
okay,
So she had a 400 hat collection that all my family talks about. I never met her, but a hundred of them, about 100 were turbans.
yeah,
Uh, so beautiful headpieces that got in the family uh, with her passing away. But having things in our head was always a tradition in our family. At school, I was called in the French school Miss Bandelette, which is the headbands, because I was always with a
yes,
head.
yes.
Uh, and later on, because I had 4 kids in 5 years, and I never stopped working, and it was crazy.
Everybody, did you hear that? 4 kids in 5 years.
Yes, and no twins, no twins, and I never
Yes,
stopped working, and those were crazy times. And one thing I didn't have time for, my hair. So
yeah.
so it was when I started more using turbans at the time, because I felt stylish. I felt so tired that it uplifted me. And then I loved it so much. It empowered me so much that I continued. And it's something that I stopped, and I really love it. And each turban that I do is completely unique. So I don't
Yes,
do two
yes,
turbans. That's why, like women, they're unique.
yes. And I thank you again. I treasure this, and it gives me an opportunity even today to wear it. Oh my God, I feel so
You're looking
different. Thank you, thank you. Well, moving forward a little bit, I would like to talk. I would like to ask you about yet another incredibly special project that you've started quite recently. It's Positive Sundays, and
yeah,
it seems that we both kind of, as we often do, think alike. And
yeah.
the project that actually I started last year, the Conversations with Olga, with a notion to offer the conversations with extremely unique individuals like yourself from all around the world, to broaden people's minds, to offer the narratives of these people in order to inspire others and to project positivity around us. And
Mhm.
you've started something extraordinary, and it's called the Positive Sundays, right?
Yeah,
Can you tell us, please, about this project?
definitely. Education is something that I'm very passionate about, very passionate about. And it's on the side from everything. I think everyone has their job, has their passion in their career and talents. And sometimes we have other interests that define us. And education has always been something that makes me stop and talk a lot
Yes,
about.
yes,
Uh, and I never had time to really be part of charities because of the kids and the work and traveling. So when the pandemic started, I've always once or twice had done many projects related to education on the side. But when the first confinement happened in Portugal, I was so worried, because I in the news I saw a lot of uncertainty with kids alone with their parents at home, parents a lot of mental health issues because of depressions, and
yes,
people didn't know what they were going. So I one day I said, this is it. This is the time where I can give back. So I started on Sundays, which is the only day I have a little bit of time outside of work and family, to talk about all that I've learned in my motherhood 16 years ago about education. And I've been exposed in Singapore to amazing educational projects uh, through a life coach that I've had for years, also, with growth mindset,
yes,
and giving people tools, communication tools, positive education tools, so that they can create a new relationship with kids, and not just be stuck with no tools and just a traditional education, which is the main education in Portugal, is the traditional education and the
yes,
fixed mindset. So I really wanted to share many tools that can help not just parents, but also teachers, grandparents, and type of adults that deals with children and teens to review their way of communicating with them. And with that, I think it creates change in the adults. And he
Yeah.
reviewed, there are other paths, other ways
Yes.
communicating, and it has been a journey, and it's going, I've been reaching to a lot of people, many more than I thought, and
Yes, I see. Your following is incredible.
yeah, and it's my
For
way
this.
of giving back.
Yes. And I believe this talks not only give the strength to others, but I think it gives the strength to you yourself. I feel.
Definitely. I'm also remembering everything that I went through as an educator, and it's impacting my life as well.
Yes.
Rethinking and realigning. We're doing that every week. We're changing every week as human beings. And I think the pandemic was a forced change for everyone, but it was
Yes.
always also showed us that human beings, we adapt, we adapt, we reinvent, we
Yes.
realign. Right.
Very much so, absolutely. One day we will arrange the talk for you to. I know you give these talks in Portuguese, but one day we'll arrange for you to give this talk to the audience that we both share,
Okay.
for sure.
Okay.
Yes, I would like to ask you just a few sort of interesting, to me at least, quick questions, and please elaborate as much or as little as you want. In one sentence, can you please tell is why Portugal is so amazing and fabulous?
Well, I
Well, I
think
know it, but I want to hear from you.
I was a Portuguese almost ambassador when I was in Singapore because I know I love this country so much. It's a little jewel. My father, before Portugal became trendy, used to say Portugal is Europe's best kept secret.
Yeah.
It's not a secret anymore, but it's still one of the best countries to visit because it's small, but it's little treasures everywhere. So even from our islands, Azores and Madeira, which are beautiful to explore from north to south, you have to come many times, or
Yes.
even to have a little pied-à-terre to explore because it's never ending. It's an
Yes.
authentic country. People are friendly in terms
Yes.
of fresh fish. Of so many things. It's just an amazing country.
Absolutely. Talking about fish, by the way, what is your favorite food or dish, and what is your favorite chef?
So I love fresh fish. So the fact that when you're having lunch here, the fish has almost just been picked up and fished straight some hours before. It's amazing. So I think the fresh fish in many countries, in many restaurants, is amazing. Uh, one of my favorite restaurants are the Je ne sais quoi.
Oh yes, well, yes, I love it too. This is where we stage the event.
Exactly, where you, in
Yes,
the Asia, and
one of the events. Yes,
they have a club, a private club. I'm
yes,
never at the club.
yes,
I love to have lunch and
yes.
dinner. I love this little Italian restaurant called Fiammetta. It has the best Italian in town for lunch. And so for Japanese, I love Yakuza from the chef Olivier. He's a he's a Portuguese and a childhood friend, and Yakuza is amazing. So there are a few.
Oh, I can't wait to be honest with you. And then there are so many places that we've been together with you, and it's just memories that are so close to my heart, and I want to as quickly as possible to recreate them again for
No.
sure. What if you are to design a house for someone? I don't know, special. Do you have a dream of designing house to someone that you want to that you admire? Who would be that person?
That's so difficult. Oh my gosh, let me. Ah, I didn't think about that answer. Let me see. Well,
What kind of project
I,
would you like to create?
I'm actually designing one of my dream projects, which is Patricia, my client, is watching because she might be. Uh, it's an estate in Tuscany,
Oh my
so
God.
I'm enjoying that amazingly. And this has been the third project designed for these clients. We've gotten, to know each other over the years, from a small apartment to to another project in London, and now this estate in Tuscany. And it has been an amazing, amazing experience. I'm almost ready. So in the next few months, I hope if the pandemic slows down around Europe, that we can go and install. But it was a dream
It
project.
sounds beautiful.
I'm happy to be part of it.
That's beautiful. How do you relax, Gracinha?
How do I, with yoga? Actually, Coco
Yeah.
was watching my amazing yoga teacher. So Coco Rainbow Yoga, please follow her because she's amazing. And I relax with yoga, definitely, and meditation. It's
Yeah.
two things that have been growing on me. And if I don't, my husband forces me. It's you haven't. He says you can see in my personality when I've not done it for a while. So definitely yoga and meditation.
Yeah. Oh, well, I still am hoping that I will get into it, at least with half of the passion that you have about, really. What are
Yes,
your
you'll
dreams?
try Coco's. Look, there she is. You'll try Coco's. You have to go to her retreats. Someone wants to start to visit Portugal. It can go to they can go to Comporta, which is an amazing place in Portugal
Yes,
where everyone is going. And Coco's retreats in Quinta da Comporta are amazing.
yes.
So your next trip has to be in the
Yes, we
same
spoke about it. Yes, and yeah, I
day.
promised you, and you promised me that we will be going to go there together. So I'm looking forward. Maybe this place will convert me.
You, place
Right?
no, Coco will convert you. She's
Yes.
amazing.
Thank you, Coco. Yes, thank you. I see the message. Thank you. And my dear, what are your dreams? If I know there are so many, but if there is
Right?
anything you can share with us.
Yeah, well, I have two very different dreams. One is to start traveling again.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's like, when are we going to start traveling? And we wonder, when will we get to travel like we used to, right? Because I think at the beginning, traveling will be a little bit different because people will be scared and a lot of different things. We don't know what's coming. So my dream
Yes.
is can very quickly start traveling like we used to before, with no worries, and be carefree and
Yes.
explore. Still want to do a lot of traveling with my family and for work as well. My other dream is with my husband. We love Alentejo, which is a beautiful, beautiful place in midway to south of Portugal, and we would love to have a country home there. So we
Okay. Oh my God. Well, that will be me. I'm invited.
you
I'm
are
inviting myself.
we it's a beautiful place.
That's beautiful. And I will tell all of our viewers how to get in contact with you and to follow you on Instagram. And it's let me just put my glasses on to read it properly. It's Viterbo underscore interior underscore design. And
Exactly.
if you any of you would like to take a look at Gracinha's incredible head couture, it's Gracinha Viterbo underscore head underscore couture. Please look her up, and she's amazing. She's my very, 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 very dear friend. And just so you would know, you should please, if you haven't had a chance to listen to our old conversation, that this conversation will be recorded, and I will put the link on my stories. I will also add the link into the conversations under my feed, Events by Olga. You have a session conversations where you can actually see all the different conversations with all the amazing people, and now Gracinha will have a very main part in it. So please go and view all these conversations and enjoy them. And I would like to thank you again and again and again, my dear, for joining me tonight and tonight. And I can't wait to see you. And thank you so much. And send my love to everyone in the family, of course.
And you too, Olga. I want to thank you very much. This was amazing. I missed talking like this for so long with you.
Yes, yes,
It
me
was a
too,
great
actually.
opportunity.
Well, the time will come. I'm definitely very sure that we'll see each other very, very soon, and we'll continue this conversation.
Definitely.
Thank you. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you, Olga.
Bye.
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 Bye.